Mr. Chairman, you can go ahead and start.
Okay, thank you, Brooke. Good evening and welcome to the 847th meeting, Tuesday, March 8th, 2022. Please note that if you wish to be heard at this meeting, please sign the speaker list provided on the City of Laurel website or contact staff. The chairman reserves the right to limit the amount of time each speaker has for each agenda item. Qualifications of the members of the commission, the staff of the commission, and any consultants used are on file with the city and are hereby made a part of each and every application heard today. The guidelines and procedures adopted by the commission are also made a part of each and every application. Each application heard today is considered on its own merits and is not to be considered as establishing precedent for any other application. Just a few reminders. Make sure that you identify yourself when speaking each time. This is imperative for the record. When done speaking, please remember to use your mute button on your computer or phone to help eliminate background noise. If we experience a technical problem, the meeting will be suspended until the issue is resolved. If unable to resolve the issue in a timely manner, the meeting shall be postponed. Once the issue is corrected, I will call for another roll call, and then we will resume the meeting. After the staff presents the applicant report, I will ask commissioners to request a motion. Before we call the roll, I'd like to take a moment and acknowledge the passing of former Councilman H. Edward Ricks. Not only was he a dedicated member of the Laurel community, he was also a close family friend. His wisdom and support will definitely be missed, and his commitment to our community is irreplaceable. Eddie was truly one of a kind and definitely will be missed. Madam Secretary, would you call the roll?
Mr. Cocoon?
Here.
Councilmember Cole?
Present.
Ms. McSeany? Here. Ms. Lubinecki?
Here.
Ms. Frazier?
Here.
Mr. Davis?
Here.
Mr. Schweitzer?
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you, Brooke. Open discussion for minutes from the regular meeting held February the 8th, 2022. Any corrections or notes?
Mr. Chairman, this is Ms. McSeany. I have a request. At the end of the last meeting, and it's in the minutes, Mr. Love provided statistics for applications from 2021 versus 2020, and the numbers aren't in there. And I wrote them down and then I recycled it, and I feel like it's important that it be in the minutes.
Duly noted. Staff doesn't have a problem with adding that to the minutes.
I don't believe so.
Okay, thank you, Rob.
Thank you. With that correction, I'd like to move that we approve the minutes as presented.
Great. Do I have a second?
This is Marlene Frazier. I second the motion.
Okay, I have a motion from Ms. McSeany and a second from Mrs. Frazier that we approve the minutes with the addition of the statistics from Mr. Love's presentation. Would you please call the roll?
Ms. McSeany?
Yes.
Ms. Frazier?
Yes.
Councilmember Cole?
Yes.
Ms. Lubinecki?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
I abstain as I was not part of that previous meeting.
Thank you. Mr. Schweitzer?
Yes.
Mr. Cocoon?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you. Okay, moving on to next agenda item is HDC 0222 0095 for 1105 Montgomery Street. The applicant was at the last meeting, and this is a follow-up. Staff just want to update the commission on the report.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Chair and fellow board member. This is Monte Burrows, Planner 2. The applicant is seeking approval from the HDC to repair and replace existing front porch floorboards. The applicant is doing emergency repair due to a vehicle damage to front porch. You can see the attachments. The applicant will be repairing and replacing existing floorboards with a TimberTech slate gray Azeh porch floorboard. The existing front porch are gray wooden floorboards. Staff recommends that the HDC approve certificate 095-2022. Thank you, Mr. Chair, and the applicant's on the line for any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Monty, for that report. Can I entertain a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve HDC 2022-0095 for 1105 Montgomery Street as presented.
I'll second
This
that
is
motion.
Okay, I have a motion from Ms. Lubinecki and a second from Councilman Cole. Would you please call the roll, Brooke?
Ms. Lubinecki,
Yes.
Councilmember Cole,
Yes.
Ms. McSaney,
Yes.
Ms. Frazier, Ms. Frazier?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Davis,
Yes.
Mr. Schweitzer,
Yes.
Mr. Cocoon.
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Good luck, Mr. Erdle, with your project. Moving on to HDC 2022-0089 for 23 Post Office Avenue. Would the staff please present the report to the commission?
Yes, good evening, Mr. Chair and fellow commission members. This is Joshua Mitchum, ECD staff. The applicant is proposing or is requesting HDC approval to install new black vinyl shutters on the side of the home. The proposed shutters on the first floor of the property, the shutters will be black colored and measure approximately 14.5 inches by 49 inches. And they will be matching the existing height of the windows and placement of the windows. Furthermore, the applicant is requesting approval to install a new 6 foot tall fence with a gate. The style will be unpainted board-on-board wood fence that will join the existing fence that runs from the rear to the left side yard. And the applicant is also proposing to install a new 4 foot tall fence with a gate. The style will also be board-on-board fence and will join the existing fence that runs from the rear yard to the left yard as well. The proposed actions requested by the applicant appear to meet the requirements established in the City of Laurel Unified Land Development Code, and staff recommends that the HDC approve certificate number 2022-0089, and the applicant, Mr. Wang, is available for calls if questions if necessary. Thank you.
Thank you, Josh, for your report. I don't believe there was any questions or comments presented to the staff, this applicant. Seeing that, can I entertain a motion?
This is Ms. McSaney. I move that we approve HDC's 2022-0089 for 23 Post Office Avenue as submitted.
This is Commissioner Davis. I will second that motion.
Okay, Brooke, we have a motion from Ms. McSaney and a second from Mr. Davis to approve application. Can you please call the roll?
Ms. McSaney,
Yes.
Mr. Davis,
Yes.
Councilmember Cole,
Yes.
Ms. Frazier,
Yes.
thank you. Mr. Schweitzer,
Yes.
Ms. Lubinecki,
Yes.
Mr. Cocoon.
Yes,
Motion carries.
great. Okay, thank you. Okay, moving on to HDC 2022-0090 for 25 Post Office Avenue. Would the staff please present the report for that application?
Oh, yes, good evening again, Mr. Chair and fellow commission members. This is again Joshua Mitchum giving the staff report. The applicant is proposing to amend their previously approved request to replace the existing rear yard fence of the property. The applicant was approved for a 5-foot tall fence in the rear yard and is now proposing a 6-foot fence, showing an increase of 1 foot in height. The applicant is not proposing, however, a change in the previously approved style, which was an unpainted board-on-board wood fence. Furthermore, the applicant is proposing the installation of a new vinyl shutters on the first floor of the property, and the shutters will be black colored and measure approximately 14 and a half inches by 49 inches. The application proposed appears to meet the requirements established in the City of Laurel's Unified Land Development Code, and staff recommends that the HDC approve certificate number 2022-0090. Thank you.
Thank you, Josh, for your report. Seeing there was no questions or comments for this, can I entertain a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I actually do have a question looking at this, just to clarify, if I may, this is Ms. Lubinecki. So Mr. Wang is now proposing to kind of basically board off the one property from the wooden barn property side of his property. I mean, previously there was no fence. The lot was open.
Is that a question for me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, this is Richard Wang. Thank you, everybody. So the reason for the fence is because we have installed a driveway on the left side of the house. So there's no way to close the whole yard. If ever the owner want to have a closed fence area for the pets or dogs, so this is just to close here in the backyard, so he has enclosed fence yard for doggies and stuff. So because of the driveway opens up the whole original fence, that's why I proposed a new fence. The new fence is for applying for approval for now. Depends on if the lot is also going on through a lot subdivision. If that is approved later, I will install this fence here. So that's the purpose.
Thank you, Mr. Wang. Not asking for approval for the future optional fence, however, correct?
Yes.
Yes, you are not.
No. No, he would have to come back before us if he proposed a future fence.
That's correct.
Yeah, that's not in the report. Even though it's on the diagram, it's not in the application.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
This fence on the left side of the house, on left back, this in the middle, that is on the application.
Yes.
But not the 4 foot high with the gate.
That's the 4 foot. That's the 4 feet high with the gate. Yes.
Okay, this is Miss McSaney. So now I'm completely confused. Which parts of the fence are wanting to be installed now?
If I may, this is Joshua Mitchum with staff. So there's an existing fence on that runs along the backside of 25 Post Office Avenue. That's you can see the diagram there.
Yeah.
The proposed 6-foot tall high gate fence with the gate that is on this existing avenue or existing application for 25 Post Office Avenue. And then I believe there was, I remember when we were discussing the application, there was like I think there was, Mr. Wayne, you can confirm as well. You were saying that also it was switched around with 23 Post Office Avenue, where there would be the part of it where if it was subdivided, that it would have the fence with the gate that split up both properties. Was that still on 25 Post Office Avenue? I think that's what Mrs. McSaney is referring to. If you want to.
Okay, let me explain a little bit. So this what you're looking at right here now is lot 3 and lot 4.
Mm-hmm.
So on lot 3, you see a green arrow says proposed 6 feet high fence and gate. That one I'm going to install right now.
Okay.
That's that's for sure I'm going to install once approved.
Okay.
So that's 25 Post Office Avenue. And lot 3, right? So lot 3, I'm also applying for a 4 feet high lower fence on the left side of the house on lot 3. This I just you know, I just want to apply this now. Either I think doesn't matter the lot subdivide or not. This is good for the lot, so it can have a enclosed backyard.
Okay.
But our application, Mr. Chairman, but this is Ms. Lubinecki, but our application does not include that 4-foot fence. Is that correct? I mean, I'm looking at the
application. I have the 4 feet in the description. I have 2 installed 6 feet tall and 4 feet tall board-on-board fence and gate on left side of the house, enclosing the backyard. So that is on the original application. Yeah.
Okay, I think the issue is that for the 23 Post Office Avenue, that mention of the 4-foot gate was on that, or I put that on the report for 23, but I believe that the installation for if it was the possible subdivision is supposed to be on the 25 Post Office Avenue. I think that's
correct. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that's what's missing. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. This is Miss McSaney. Thank you. Okay, then I would like to make a motion that we approve HDC 2022-0090 for 25 Post Office Avenue as submitted with the, I guess, addition of the 4-foot fence that was mistakenly put on the application for 23 Post Office Avenue.
Okay, do I have a second or any further comments?
This is Mr. Schweitzer. I'll second the motion.
Okay, Brooke, I have a motion from Ms. McSaney and a second by Mr. Schweitzer. Would you please call the roll for HDC 2022-0090?
Ms. McSaney,
Yes.
Mr. Schweitzer,
Yes.
Councilmember Cole,
Yes.
Ms. Frazier,
Yes.
Mr. Davis,
Yes.
Ms. Lubinecki,
yes.
Mr. Cocoon.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Great. Okay, Mr. Wang, good luck with your project. Thank you for coming before us.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Appreciate
Have a
it.
good night.
You too.
Okay, HDC 2022-0088 for 595 Main Street. Would the staff please present the report to the commission?
Good evening again, Mr. Chair and fellow HDC members. This is Monte Borough Planner 2. The applicant is willing to reface the existing monument sign. See the attachment. The sign is located in the front entrance of the site. The new sign will be placed on aluminum material. The sign will read Patuxent Place Apartment, the business website, and the phone number. The sign is 98 inches by 26 inches, approximately 17.69 square feet. The current sign is aluminum, the same dimension as the reface sign. Staff recommends the HDC Commission approve certificate number 088-2022. Thank you, Mr. Chair, and the applicant is on the phone for any question. And before this meeting, staff person, Ms. Frazier, had questioned if the applicant who's on the line is willing to change the reface to match the existing canopy signage under the existing canopy. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Monte. And that was the question. What was the answer to that?
I told Ms. Frazier she can ask, or we can ask the applicant tonight if he's willing to do so. He's a new owner of Patuxent Place, so he may have his own vision for that site. So if you're willing, we can ask him tonight if he's willing to change.
Okay. How you doing, Mr. Mayosh?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm fine. Looks like a nice addition to the sign. Would you care to answer Ms. Frazier's question? I don't know if you need it repeated or not.
Yeah, I need it repeated, but just let me clarify our intentions first. So there's like a purple little underling sign there. We are proposing, I don't know if I put in there, we're just going to remove that. I think that was an afterthought. And I think the question is, would I change the coloring to that? Is that what the question is?
The question is, would you consider doing something more in keeping with all of the canopy signs that have just been redone by the businesses? And they all are the same font and color. So if you could modify that a little to better blend with the canopy signs.
I see. You mean with the small businesses that are out there, all those signs?
Yes, they have just redone all of those.
I see. Okay, so the font and what else? Like the
Modify the color a little. They're like a purple on a off-white background. So maybe an off-white background and
yes,
black, or something like that, rather than orange.
Good question. I do have an in-house graphic person who I could ask to see if they could run a, try to change the font a little. It matches. We have 4 other properties in Laurel, one across the street, and we just copy it, and we received HDC approval on them, and we just copied that to kind of keep a branding. But I do understand it, and I thought maybe for the entrance, the fact that it's different than the other signs might stand out so people know where it is, because a common complaint I guess I get is, what is this building? And nobody, before I purchased it, there's no other notation of what it is, or you couldn't see it. So that was the idea behind and motivation. I'll definitely consider it. I can ask for rendering to see what that looks like.
Mr. Chairman, this is Ms. Lubinecki.
Yes.
I have a slightly bigger question that this raises. In the past, we have given the owner of Patuxent Place quite a bit of latitude in not having to get every one of their band signs approved, because it was our understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, it was our understanding that there were specific guidelines on the fonts and the colors, et cetera, that they were allowed to do for the band signs for their businesses. And Mr. Manesh's new sign is actually quite a departure from that. So I'm a little bit concerned about that blanket okay that we had previously given to these signs, if there's going to be a change in the look of the branding of the main sign. I think that unfortunately raises a slightly larger issue here. Mr. Manesh, maybe you'd like to comment on that?
Well, I don't want any of my tenants who I had some vacants and I told them they have to go through HDC approval and match the signage. That's the resonating voice that I've given the tenants there. And they all know, I know a few of them have some pending applications with you. You think that this would lead to a slippery slope where others say, oh, maybe I can apply for this different type of sign? Is that the concern?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I see what you mean. And we, I certainly want all of them at least to look the same, because then it would make sense. This was just to kind of, I guess in a way, match our branding, but kind of let people know that this is the entrance and just allay any confusion. I can ask for a rendering to see what that's like, and I don't want to cause any problems with the other retails there.
Could we possibly table this, Mr. Chairman, to give Mr. Manesh a chance to kind of come back with a rethink a little bit on this?
So along with the city, they're asking, can we modify this to match more like the business signs, maybe a little color scheme that matches more the retail signs? They want to keep that uniform look there. They try to do a rendering.
What color is the sign?
It's like that tan color. I think we'll run a rendering, and I talk to Brooke all the time, so I can run it past and see what you guys think of the new version. I've already created the sign, and I guess I probably shouldn't have done that. So that's on me. I already have it. I just haven't put it up.
But
Should not have done that.
I mean, the one that's there right now.
well, and that puts you in an interesting dilemma there, because
Yeah, that's my fault. So that's on me. So I'm assuming your group would not approve this unless I provided a rendering. Is that accurate?
Well, I mean, if you still want to go through, we can present a vote. It has to get a motion and a second, and then we could vote on it. Either way, whether we table it or not, we would still need that. So, it's still open for either a motion to table or a motion to approve.
This is Mr. Schweitzer. Make a motion, we table it.
second, this is Ms. Lubinecki, I would second that.
Okay. No motions to approve. So seeing that, Brooke, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Schweitzer,
Yes.
Ms. Lubinecki,
Yes.
Councilmember Cole,
Yes.
Ms. McSaney,
Yes.
Ms. Frazier,
Yes.
Mr. Davis,
No.
Mr. Cocoon.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Chair, I'd like to make one more small comment to Mr. Manesh. And that is that our interest in this is that the Patuxent Place has really been, and congratulations for purchasing it, by the way.
Thank
I
you.
mean, it's kind of a premier building complex for Laurel. So we're very particularly interested in the tone that it conveys to the whole community, because that's a major entrance as they come in. So congratulations on the new purchase. and I
Understood.
look forward to working with you.
May I ask, when something is tabled, is the next step that I reapply, or what would be my next step once I have the rent?
Yes. You get in touch with Brooke. You'll come before the meeting, next month's meeting, and you'll propose your new rendering. If you still want this sign, you can submit that as well. But, it's up to the commission to be able to present it and vote on it.
Mr. Chairman, can I propose that at the next month's meeting, we have the two renderings side by side so we can see how they look?
Okay, that's something staff could present.
And commissioners, can I just clarify, you want the text edited to a different style and different color, but the background is okay?
I would say that if they would create something that's more in keeping with the signs on the canopies. Perhaps the background could be the off-white and the letters could be black or repeat the purple or something like that.
I think the darker background that was like a wood grain and in appearance was better. The one you had up there before. Yeah, I think that looks much better, much more historic, a little more fitting to Main Street. That's just my, my two cents on it.
And Mr. Manesh, this is Ms. Lubinecki, I know you want it to stand out more, and I understand that, but there's probably somewhere in between, and I would urge you, since this is going to be basically the model for your new banner, for your new business banners, to kind of give it's not just your main sign, it's going to be when new businesses come, the look that you'll be looking for all the ways up and down for all the businesses. So it's really you're kind of setting a new tone for your business. So I would, a bit more contrast, I think, is what you sounded like you were looking for, but somewhere in between what you started with and what we have now might work better.
Gotcha. Very clear. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to the next agenda item, HDC 2022-0091 for 207 11th Street. Would the staff please present a report to the commission?
Good evening again, Mr. Chair and fellow HDC members. This is Monte Burrow, Planner 2. The applicant is seeking HDC to retroactively approve to remove and replace the roof. The applicant has removed and replaced the existing roof with a Virginia slate gray in color architectural shingle roof. The previous roof was light gray, 3-tab roof. Staff recommends the HDC retroactively approve certificate number 091-2022. Thank you, Mr. Chair. The applicant's on the line for any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Monte. Seeing that there was no questions or comments, can I entertain a motion?
This is Ms. McSaney. Oh. I move we approve HDC 2022-0091 for 207 11th Street.
This is Ms. Lubinecki, I second.
Okay, Brooke, I have a motion from Ms. McSaney and a second from Ms. Lubinecki. Would you please call the roll?
Ms. McSaney,
Yes.
Ms. Lubinecki,
Yes.
Councilmember Cole,
Yes.
Ms. Frazier,
Yes,
Mr. Davis,
yes,
Mr. Schweitzer,
Yes.
Mr. Cocoon.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Great, thank you. Okay, next agenda item, HDC 2022 for -0094 for 26 Post Office Avenue. Would the staff please present a report to the commission?
Good evening again, Mr. Chair and fellow HDC members. This is Monte Burrow, Planner 2. The applicant is seeking HDC approval to construct and install a new fence. The applicant will be installing fencing in the front left side of the property. The fences in the front will be 3.5 feet picket fence painted white. The fencing along the right side of the property will be 6 feet dog-ear fence. The fence will remain its natural color. Staff recommends the HDC approve certificate 094-2022. Thank you, Mr. Chair, and the applicant is on the line for any questions.
Okay, thank you, Monte. Saying that there was no questions or comments for this applicant, can I entertain a motion?
this is Commissioner Davis. I would like to request a motion to approve application 094-2022.
This is Ms. McSaney. I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion from Commissioner Davis and a second by Ms. McSaney to approve application. Would you please call the roll?
Mr. Davis,
Yes.
Ms. McSaney,
Yes.
Councilmember Cole,
Yes.
Ms. Frazier,
Yes.
Mr. Switzer,
Yes.
Ms. Lubinecki,
yes,
Mr. Cocoon.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you. Okay, moving on to HDC 2022-0096 for 616 Prince George Street. Would the staff please present the report to the commission?
Good evening again, Mr. Chair and fellow HDC members. Again, this is Monte Burrow, Planner 2. The applicant is seeking HDC approval to install a fence. The new fence will be changing from a Gothic point to an alternate Gothic fence. And you can look in the staff report. The fence is in the rear. The applicant would like to raise the fence height in the rear corner to 5.5 feet to 6 feet tall along 7th Street and the alley. Staff recommends HDC approve certificate number 096-2022. Thank you, Mr. Chair. And the applicant is on the line for any questions. And I know beforehand, Ms. Frazier had a concern about safety, and I responded that I will take it up the chain with the safety and traffic committee. But per the code, the fence does meet the guidelines for a corner lot to have a height, because it has to be 25 feet from the front property line. So it is. So it does answer the question per code for this fence. Thank you.
Thank you, Monte. And I guess the concern was if you were coming out of the alley onto 7th Street, it might cut down the visibility of seeing the oncoming traffic.
Ms. Frazier, we can't hear you.
No, you're very garbled. No.
Ms.
Maybe
Frazier,
you could
you put your question in the chat, Ms. Frazier, maybe? Ms. Frazier, if you could put it in the chat.
Karen, maybe she could call you and you could say it.
maybe the staff knows this. The setback from 7th Street to the property line, what is that setback going to be?
If Brooke can pull up the plat, we may be able to see what that setback is.
But there's an existing fence there now. This is just going to increase it by 1/2 foot.
Yes, she's going to enlarge existing fence
Right.
from 5.5 to 6 along that corner.
Right. Okay, so it's something that's been there and
Yeah.
Yeah, Robert, I live right across the street from her.
Yeah.
And I drive there every day, so I can fully understand her need for that along 7th Street there.
Okay,
Yeah,
I have
it
Ms.
is,
Frazier's,
yeah.
I have Ms. Frazier's question here.
okay,
and
go ahead, Ms. Lubinecki.
Her concern is that as you come up Prince George Street, and if you are taking a left onto 7th Street, the only way that you can see the oncoming traffic is through the holes in the current fence. And so and I'm going to extrapolate a little here and point out that the applicant wants to put a boarded fence that will have no holes at all and be higher, which would make it even more difficult to see.
And I pull out of that intersection every day and look to the left because I live right here in this 100 block. A fencing, if the fence stops at the rear boundary of the house right there, it should not be an issue. It's if the fence were to come all the way up to the corner of the intersection where it would be an issue, and this fence is not going to do that. I don't see it as one who drives there every day. I don't see it, as an issue.
Okay, any further questions or comments?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve HDC 2022-0096.
This is Commissioner Davis. I will second that motion.
Okay, Brooke, I have a motion by Councilmember Cole and a second by Commissioner Davis. Would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Cole,
Yes.
Mr. Davis,
Yes.
Ms. McSaney,
Yes.
Ms. Frazier. Thumbs up for yes. No.
I think she's abstaining.
No, I think she's saying no. Did she say, Ms. Frazier? What is Ms. Frazier's vote, please?
Ms. Frazier, did you abstain?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Schweitzer,
Yes.
Ms. Lubanecki,
Yes.
Mr. Clocoon.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Good. Okay. All right, moving on to HDC 2022-0100 for 320 Montgomery Street. Would you, staff, please present the report to the commission?
Good evening again, Mr. Chair and fellow HDC members. This is Monte Burrow, Planner 2. The applicant is seeking HDC approval to perform several exterior alterations to the property located at 320 Montgomery Street. Proposed work, front door replacement. Applicant is proposing to replace and remove the existing front entrance door and side windows. See attachment. The new entrance door and side windows will be placed where the existing front entrance and side windows are located. The existing entrance door is fiberglass and the color is burgundy. The new entrance door will be steel and the color will match that of the existing door. The new side windows will be the full length. The new entrance door will have the rectangle window instead of an oval window. The shutters, the applicant is removing and replacing the existing shutters. The existing shutters are wood, the color is black. The new shutters will be a black vinyl in the same dimensions as the existing. The windows, the applicant is proposing to remove and replace 3 existing windows on the first level in the front of the house, and you see the attachment. The number of windows being installed is 3. They are double pane, 6/6 windows, vinyl frame, trim, aluminum pearl. Original windows, single hung, 6/6 window, aluminum frame, trim white. The new windows will be 31 inches by 68 inches. Staff recommends the HDC approved certificate number 100/2022. Thank you, Mr. Chair, and the applicant is on the line for any questions.
Thank you, Monte. There was no questions or comments about this. It's quite a bit of work. I actually, I want to comment that I like the rectangle shape on the window as opposed to the oval shape. I think it's more fitting to the community. Personal preference for me.
Thank you. We like that one better too.
This is Ms. McSaney. I'd like to make a motion that we approve HDC 2022-0100 for 320 Montgomery Street as presented.
This is Ms. Lubanecki. I second.
Okay, Brooke, I have a motion from Ms. McSaney and a second from Ms. Lubanecki to approve HDC 0100. Would you please call the roll?
Ms. McSaney,
Yes.
Ms. Lubinecki. Ms. Lubinecki,
Oh, sorry, yes.
Councilmember Cole,
Yes.
Ms. Frazier,
Yes.
Mr. Davis,
Yes.
Mr. Switzer,
Yes.
Mr. Cocoon.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Great. Good luck with your project.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for becoming for us. Okay, moving on to next agenda item is HDC 2022-0098 for 333 Laurel Avenue. Would the staff please present a report to the commission?
Yes, good evening, Mr. Chair and fellow commission members. This is Joshua Mitchell, ECD staff. The applicant is seeking HDC approval to install a new driveway and parking pad on the property. Both the driveway and parking pad will be located in the rear of the property, coming off of the alleyway running perpendicular to the lot. The proposed driveway will be 16 feet by 13 feet, comprised of the crushed stone permeable material. And the parking pad will be proposed to be 16 feet by 36 feet in size, and will be comprised of the same crushed stone permeable material in 24-inch by 24-inch by 24-inch tiled sections. The applicant proposal appears to meet the design criteria outlined in the design guidelines of the Historic District Commission, and staff recommends that the HDC approve certificate number 2022-0098. That's the conclusion of our report. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Josh. Is this one of the first driveways that's coming before us using this permeable style material?
It's possible. I think I can recall some applications that use permeable material, maybe not this exact brand or style, but I've heard that used in proposals before for this commission.
Okay.
This is Miss McSaney. So what's really the difference between this and gravel? Other than there's sort of a framework to kind of keep it in place?
For me, I would say your deduction would be correct. It is kind of like it's not loose and disorganized. It is held in place. But if the applicant, who I believe is on the line, Ms. Anita Muno, if she would want to explain more in detail about the intricacies of it, I'd be more than happy to let her explain.
Hi, good evening. Yeah, so the idea is crushed stone, not really gravel. I'm not sure how to explain the difference. I'm trying to get a neat and tidy appearance that stays put, and these grids basically do that. I've seen it used in a number of places, mainly like parks and rec centers and things like that. It is permeable, and it's held fast with these. It would be, tidy, I guess. I don't want grass growing. I want it to be neat and tidy, and that's the whole point.
Thank you. So I guess really my question is, and maybe we don't know the answer to this yet, would this be something suitable for a driveway that comes out onto a street? Since there's an ordinance that wants to limit the amount of gravel used in the city because it gets onto the street and causes problems.
This will be coming off of the alleyway in the back of the property, not a public right of way such as the
Right. No, so I understand that. My question is this suitable for a driveway that would be coming onto a street?
Ms. McSaney, I think that's definitely something we can look at as a staff to see if this is perhaps, the alternative to actually having gravel would be something to this effect, because that is, as Josh said, that's the big issue is with it spreading out and getting storm drains, and there's a lot of issues with gravel. So this could definitely be an interesting alternative, and staff will look further into that.
Okay, thank you.
I'd like to comment on this one, just having installed these in the past. This will hold some of the gravel, but the primary purpose of that structure is to make it so that the vehicle weight does not go into the soil. It reduces the amount of gravel that needs to be put down. So loose gravel on the top will still move around. The stuff that's inside the cells will stay in place, but the primary purpose is for structural support.
Thank you.
Thank you, council member.
Well, so I'd like to move that we approve HDC 2022-098 for 333 Laurel Avenue as presented.
Okay, do I have a second?
This is Ms. Lubinecki. I second.
Okay, Brooke, I have a motion from Ms. McSaney and a second from Ms. Lubinecki for HDC 2022-0098. Would you please call the roll?
Ms. McSaney,
Yes.
Ms. Lubinecki,
Yes.
Councilmember Cole,
Yes.
Ms. Frazier,
Yes.
Mr. Davis,
Yes.
Mr. Schweitzer,
Yes.
Mr. Cocoon.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you, Brooke.
Thank you.
Good luck with your project. We look forward to seeing you.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Good night. Okay, the next agenda item is for staff approvals. Was there any questions or comments about any of those that were presented to the staff?
Mr. Chairman, I do have one question and kind of a comment. I know that at least one of these was actually work that had already started before the application was made. And I'm wondering if in the future, perhaps that can be noted on the application and because that does affect their also ability to what kind of tax credit they're going to get. And looking at this, you wouldn't know that that one of these doesn't now qualify because it was kind of an ex post facto application.
Okay, Mr. Love, would you like to comment on that?
No, we can definitely put that on the application, make note in the system that that this was somewhat retroactive, so they would be subject to the lesser tax credit.
Thank you, Mr. Love.
All right. Yes, do we want to pass these as a whole or go through each staff approval?
Robert, I think if they've already been, have they been approved by the staff already?
Yes.
Then I say we just approve them as a whole.
Commissioner Davis, I second that request as well. Motion.
All right, Brooke, we don't need to call the roll on this one, do we?
No, we normally don't.
All right, well.
Mr. Chairman, I've got a question.
Certainly.
This is Ms. McSaney, I'm sorry. So I do use the My Laurel app to report things, and maybe this isn't the place, but I reported an issue February 3rd, and it's just been referred. Nothing has happened. So I'm just curious about that. I reported one yesterday, and you all were there, fairly quickly, which was wonderful. So the property I'm talking about is the one on A Street that burned.
We can get back with you, Ms. McSaney. Like I said, we're still kind of adjusting staff. It goes through, sometimes it goes next to code enforcement. So we're working through that right now with how those are transferred. But we'll look in the system. We'll get that straightened out, the one you said you put in early February, and see where that was referred to and where we are with it. And we'll be sure.
Okay. So am I correct in that it should go into building code zoning as opposed to building code?
Depending what it is, if it's building and they find it's for us, they'll transfer to us and vice versa. we'll go back. It's if you think you know where it goes, go put it there. But like I said, we'll correct on the back end where it goes. And sometimes there are actually combo cases where it may be a billing violation, but also something that needed HDC approval. So we'll work together on this.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Robert, is this the time for new business, or we want to save that for another time, or what? Because I do have one issue.
All right, go ahead.
I've been approached by a neighbor or two about my other neighbor across the street at 612 Prince George Street. You may know him. He's the gentleman that had the elaborate Christmas decorations. It's kind of hard to see even from space, but he has left up, and I'm bringing this to our concern on behalf of my neighbors. He has left up his 4x4 structure that comes up on the ends of the property, and they cross going horizontally across the front of his property. It's referred to by a few of my neighbors as a superstructure. And he's hung a couple flags on it, which are neither here or there. But I think it comes to a total of about 6 to 7 4x4s across the front of his property. And I don't know, it's kind of an odd structure that may be outside of any code we might have. But I did tell my neighbors I would bring it up at the meeting to see if anything can or should be done about it.
That we can have code enforcement go by there. I mean, a structure's a structure. So
Yeah.
we can have them go by.
And he's just a working guy, you know, I get it, 612 Prince George Street. But it does look rather odd, and I did promise, as a member of, of the staff here, I did promise my neighbors I would bring it up to them, to the committee. So if they could look at it, I guess that'd be a good idea.
We can take, yep.
But just getting back to what Ms. McSaney did, if they went on to my Laurel app and, each individual resident complained about it or mentioned it, then that would alert staff, hey, we're getting 2, 3, 4 comments about this property. So this is a high priority thing. So I think that's going to get more attention than just bringing it before the commission, because we're limited to what we're able to do. We would have to refer that back to the city, to Mr. Love or to the code enforcement. But the My Laurel app, I think they're trying to utilize that. It seems to be a great tool. So go back to your neighbors and tell them, if they have an issue to use that and voice their concerns on that.
This is Miss McSaney again. When you use the My Laurel app, there is an option to report it anonymously, so that it's should not come back to the neighbor. I drive by there quite a bit as well, and it's just that usually there's so many cars parked there that I can't pull over and report it. But I have thought about it too and noticed that it is quite unsightly.
Margie, my apologies for cutting you off. I thought you were done. I'm sorry.
Yep, no problem. Okay. Any other new business?
Not really.
Go, if you type in your questions on the chat, we'll be able to see them.
I just wanted to know if you could hear me. Okay.
This is Miss McSaney. I'd like to move that we adjourn.
I will second.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good evening.
Have a good night.